Hi and welcome to today's video, which is my August update for my project pan, which used 23 items in 2023. And this is a rolling pan project in that if I use items up or they're taken out of the project, then I can roll another item in from the same category or from another category. So without further ado, I'll go through the items that I've got. So I have here a matte prep and prime. Now I've only got a tiny bit at the bottom, can you see, which when it sprays it splurts everywhere. So I'm going to call this one finished. It's been splurting for quite a few days. I think there is air getting into the tube, that's why. So I'm going to roll that out as an empty, and I do have another which I got, I think it was around Christmas time. I can't remember that I bought it. I got it in a beauty box. I just can't remember. And this is the Illamasqua Hydra Setting Spray. So I think it's quite similar to the MAC. It doesn't... Oh, I can't open it. It probably does open, but... I just see, does it? It smells a bit strong, so it could well be that it has some extra setting ability that the MAC one doesn't have. I'm going to weigh this and I will start using this because I used the last of the MAC today. So yeah, this is their Hydra Spray. I think they do different ones. I think there's one that sets more than this for perhaps oily skin. I think this is probably for just to give moisture really, or to blend the makeup together, the powder together, which is what MAC Fix Plus is for. The next item is my perfume, which is a flanker for Boudoir by Vivienne Westwood, and this one is called Sing Garden. And I put it in I started off there, and that's where I'm up to. Yes, only in the last since the last update, so I've used quite a bit, and it is getting a bit old, and not all of it's not as sparkly as it once was in the top note. But I'm able to use it. Not my favourite because there is sandalwood in it, which I don't really like, but I'm hoping to get this finished perhaps by early autumn. Then I have a nail polish, and it's what I've got on my nails at the moment, and it's called Resort Romanza, which is unusual, not Romanza, it's Romanza. And this is by Essie, and when I put it in, it was there, now it's there. I wear it all the time on the nails. I put it in because it had leaked a lot, and obviously it wasn't keeping it sealed so well, so I thought, well, I'll put that in as it's a lovely summery colour, and it's a true coral, but it's quite dark reddish orange, I would say. That's the nearest I can describe it as. Then I have an Olaplex number 6 Bond Smoother. Now, when I put this in, it was 120 grams, and then that was at the start. In July it was 130 gram, July 120 gram, and now it's 114.5 gram. So I use that once I've washed, conditioned, rinsed, lightly dried my hair, towel dried, and it's still very wet. I put that through the hair. I think it's around there. It's difficult to see through. There's a bit of light coming through, so it's above the O of the Olaplex. So it should last at least to the end of the year. I'm hoping at least, 'cause it's quite expensive. Then I have a Becca pencil, which is it's the Champagne Pop. So this is very old. If I rewind it all the way down, you can see there's quite a bit of use. And to be honest, there isn't much use showing since I've last used it, because I use it just on the brow bone. I've just put a line under another line, so it's very little physical use. I doubt I'll get it finished this year, but I do use it on the brow bone, like a little triangle across the brow bone, and I lay that down and I put an illuminating powder on top. So yeah, it's going to take many months but I do use this on the regular. Then the next item I have now finished. It's by Mina. This was in an empties from last month, from July, but I have finished it all up. Now I said I was going to introduce a a Natura Bissé product, which is very expensive. Because it's rained for all of July, I felt not that I wouldn't use it. I'm going to use it next year because it's a high sun protection factor, and I'm going to start it earlier next year, I think. Now this, instead, I've put in what I thought was the nearest thing I had to a BB cream, and it is the Miracle Pure Skin Improving Hydration, and it's hyaluronic acid, vitamin C, SPF 30 in light ivory. Now I did use another one up this year in porcelain, which is very, very orange and dark. It was supposed to be lighter than this, but this one is the light one, and I've got it on today without any whitener or anything, and it is very light. It's more like a BB cream, and that's why I put it in as such. So you need quite a bit to build up. It doesn't layer on itself very well, but I don't use it as the only SPF. I put an SPF underneath. So when I started this, it was 50 gram when I put it in, and it's now 39.5, so I've used 10 mil. Like I say, you do use quite a lot, and I started this just after the last video. And then we have, for a proper foundation, we did have, and it's all used up, and it's the Kiko Unlimited Foundation. That's all gone. It's going to go into an empties this month. And then I have the same company, Kiko Insta Moisture Foundation, SPF 25. Now this, unfortunately, I thought would be like a true foundation, but it isn't. It's like a BB cream. Again, it's very, very light. It's not particularly buildable, but it is very glowy, is what I will say. And it's still available. I think the bottle shape has changed slightly, but it is still available. It is a lovely light finish. And this one started at 20.5 gram and it's now 19.5 gram. So I've just used a gram in the few days that I've been using that. Then I've got from Rimmel a Scandalise, and this is a pencil that I just put under the lower part of my eye. I don't tend to put it in the waterline, but I put it just below. And this has had regular use, and have I got this? Yeah, it's just, you can see when it started off, and that's where it is. So I've used that much, but I've got an awful lot to go. Obviously I won't finish right to the bottom because there's only so much you can you can sharpen. So I've probably got between what there is now and here, so I've got quite a lot of use. Then the next one is been in since the beginning. It's the Tartiste Pro Glow. So it's contour. So I picked up two. One is a cream and one's a powder. No, I've not used the powder one at all. I think the last couple of months it hasn't had much love. I'll use it more in winter when my makeup tends to be a bit matter. But I've been using this, and today I had a makeup sponge and it had something attached to it. I don't know what it was, and it gouged into this. So even though it's gouged in, it's still not seeing the bottom. So it's a very deep pan. I've got it on today, we can see it more there. I use it whenever I wear makeup, I put this on. So it's still going strong. I mean, I could use it more if I use it more like a bronzer into the temple, but I tend to just use it there with a sponge, a damp sponge. And yeah, like I say, it's still going strong. Then I have by Terry blush, or blusher. I prefer to say blusher. This was a sample. There it is. There's only a little bit in the pan. I'll try and show you. It probably won't show you. A little bit there. And then there's a bit more in the ring. So I've probably got a couple of days use, and then that will be finished. I've got it on my cheek today. There it is. And I've got it a bit as a bronzer there. Now, what I'm going to be replacing it with in a couple of days is Laura Mercier, and this is in Ginger. So that's it. It is quite an orangey with perhaps a little bit of brown or terracotta in, but it is quite orange. There it is. In fact, it's looking a bit beige, but in real life it's a bit more warmer toned. And I like something a bit orangey on my cheeks because my cheeks are red, so I don't like anything pink base or with a red undertone. So that will suit me very, very well. The next item has got very little usage since last time. I've used it a lot, but it doesn't show up on markings or anything like that. And this is an Ombre Star crayon. I use that there and into there on both sides. So I'll just touch this up again. It's lovely, it's long lasting, it's creamy. And though it's a bronze, it does seem a bit more taupe than bronze, and I absolutely love that. I would love a true taupe rather than a bronze, but it is quite nice heading towards taupe. And I mean, I think I've wound it up. I've got quite a bit to go. It doesn't really show on paper, but that's how much I've got to go. But I did have I've used a few mils since it's been put into the rolling pan. And then another item I have to honestly say I've hardly ever used, and that's because the makeup has been so illuminating, I haven't needed to add any more to it. But this is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder in Dim Light. This is better for foundations that are a bit more demi-matte and you want to put a bit of powder in to bring a bit more life to makeup. But I do love this powder, it's gorgeous. Then I have my Too Faced Blinded by the Light illuminator, and that's where we're at. I've got that on today, you can see it's capturing there, and I've got it there, I wear it there. So I wanted to flatten it. It was like new when I put it in, and yeah, it was a big dome because it's baked. Now it's getting quite flat, so I'll carry on working on this. I don't know if I'll hit the waffle pan anytime soon, but I'm also using another one in between. So there's another one I want to try. So I'm still enjoying this, even though it's very old. Hopefully I will get this used up within the next year, but I've hit my goal by getting it level, so I'm pleased about that, but I'm going to carry on using it. Then I've got let me just think, I've got this there. Then I've got by Rowan and an eyeshadow. And I hit pan a few months ago, but the pan is widening, if you can see. I've not got it on today, but I normally use it on the mobile lid. And I've actually got a gel fixative for glitters, and it hasn't been very good. It's by Barry M. It hasn't been so good, but it works equally well without. But it's not 100% because you can get apparently a very blinding look out of it if you actually put glue down. If without, it's just quite a subtle shimmer. So you can use it like on its own or with a glue, and both ways are very, very lovely. Then I have here a Becca product, and this is a colour corrector, and it's their Fair, which is discontinued. That's the best I can show you. In real life, it's a little darker than it is, but it is fairly cool toned. A bit like, I wouldn't quite say an apricot, but a cool pinky beige perhaps. And I've got that today, but it doesn't, it's not very heavy, so it doesn't get rid of all the red dark rings under my eyes. It's not the best, but it is very emollient. But it is old, so I need to get it used up. So it's having its fair use, because this is the only one that I use at the moment. When I was using this, I was using a Benefit one, but with the foundations I've got now, this is the best match. Then I have an eyebrow pencil, Wonder Brow, and this was quite long and full when I put it in. Now I've only got a small amount left. I've got about a third of what I had last month, so I've been using it an awful lot. This is the only pencil I use, and I can show you I should be able to show you the progress on that one. Where is the Wonder? I can't Wonder. Yeah, that's where I started, and that's where I am. I think that's the end of it. That's where I am. So I've used an awful lot. Now, the problem that I've got with this is I got this in the last few months from Latest in Beauty. I like the company Wonder Brow, and the products I've tried up to now have been really nice. The problem with this is it doesn't want to stick to anything very much. It sticks a bit better where there is dark coloured brow. But I've got either no brow there, and there I've got quite a lot of white brow, and then this starts to go white here. So it doesn't want to stick. It's very faded, and that is I can rub and I rub and I rub. It doesn't deposit colour, and as there's more brow hair, it starts to deposit colour. So if you don't have brow hair, this is not good for laying down on the skin. It's not good at all. And even where there is hairs, you know, I use an awful lot just to get a little bit of colour, and it is very dry, so it does drag the skin. So I can't now. I'm not sure if that is a normal way of this pencil or whether it's old stock that was sent out with Latest in Beauty, but as it was so dry, I thought I would use it straight away rather than using them in the order they come in to my collection. So I've probably got another month. Obviously, if I wear makeup all the time, I've probably got another month of use, and I may even have to bring in another pencil. It's just that if I don't use eye pencils, although I have some dark brows, because I was a brunette, most are white, and I've got lots of patches, so I don't really look like I have much in the line of eyebrows without a pencil. Then I have an eyeshadow by Marks and Spencer's called Blush, and I'd hit pan a few months ago, and it collapsed, so I've smashed it up as best I can, and I'm using this as I did when I put it in as a base for because I put correctors and like the corrector under the eye, I put that over the eye as well as foundation, and then I put a powder on, face powder, and then I finish off with this as a really good base prior to eyeshadow. So I've got to be very careful. I can't close it because if when it opens it flies everywhere, so I'm just going to keep it like this, just ajar, and I will leave it on a flat surface and use it every day. Then I have an Eyeko Black Magic Cocoa Edit, which I got in an advent calendar, and this is a very, very difficult lid to take off. I really don't like it. Now this brown is a cocoa brown, so it's very, very much like a mahogany, very, very warm brown, like an orangey brown. It's showing up a lot cooler on camera. I've got it on today. I'm glad to have a break from wearing black, to be honest, all the time, but I would prefer a taupey shade rather than this, because even as chocolate goes, it's a bit too orange to be a true chocolate, or cocoa. But I think I've got down. Have I got that Eyeko? Yeah, this. That was the previous one. That's this one. So it's having regular use. At the rate it's going, it's probably going to last the end of the year, because it's very difficult to get off. I really hate the packaging that Eyeko do. I just think it's so cheap, and that's a problem I do have with Eyeko stuff. They're never my favourite manufacturer or retailer. It's not not something I particularly like. I've not found much I like, and it's okay, but the packaging is naff. The next item I have is by Estee Lauder, and it is a pink lipstick in, what's it called, Candy Shimmer. This is frosted, which I really don't like frosted lipsticks, because it reminds me of the 1980s. But if I pull it down, there's a plastic lid where it goes into. If I pull it down so you can't see the plastic, that's all I've got left. So I've been using this on the regular. It was brand new when it was put in about 3 months ago. So I have actually got a lipstick in mind. I've not brought it down, but when this is finished, I will put another roll, a similar type of lipstick in a bullet. I'll put this into this project pan. Then I have a lip gloss or a lip balm by Stila, and this is a coloured pigment, a stain if you will, and I've made quite a lot of progress, but it's been little by little each month, and the lines overlap, so you can't really see, but I can tell I've made a lot of progress, and I've probably got another, I would say, because I can only use it as long as it was when it hits that plastic, so I've probably got a couple of months left, I would imagine. And I use that more of an evening, but not during the night, or else it would stain bedding. And then the second to last item I've got, if my recollection serves me well, is this, and it's Patrick Tar. And I said it was a lip gloss, I think, when I introduced it. It's actually a lip lacquer. It's a lipstick that is in a liquid form, and it does not dry down. So I've got it on my lips. What I will say, it is very tacky, and the lips want to stick together. To reduce that, what I've done, and I've used this 4 times, is I put a lip gloss, and I've got this lip gloss, which is from Bare Minerals, Gen Nude, and I just put that. Now, it does still have a tack, but not as much tack as the Patrick Ta lacquer has. And when the lip gloss wears off, it doesn't disrupt or reduce or remove the Patrick Ta lacquer. That still stays in situ. So this is long wear. You can use it on its own if you don't mind the, which is what it causes, but it is very, very long wearing. So it's not something I would buy again because it's tacky, but it certainly is very, very good at what it does. And then finally, I've got my Aromatherapy Associates rollerball in Deep Relax. That's now all gone. Oh, there's just one drop left I can't get out. So I'm going to call that finished. I finished it up today. And what I'm going to put in its place is Revive Intensive Moisturising Lip Balm. So I've weighed it, 17.5 gram. And I used it for the first time last night. Really liked it. And it has a cold metal top. And it has a little hole where the balm comes through. It's an off-white milky balm. Really, really nice and comforting. I really like this balm. It's in, I would say, my top 3 at the moment. So after just the one use, it was really nice. It stayed on throughout the night. So they're all my items in my project pan. Can I say thank you very much for watching, as I do appreciate that your time is valuable, and hopefully I shall see you again in another video. Otherwise, take care of yourselves and bye for now.